Today I'm joined with a good friend, fellow collaborator, and the founder of the Controversity on YouTube, Ian Elliott Carter. What's up, man? Welcome back.
Man, it's always a pleasure to be here, Jeremy. Appreciate you thinking of me.
Absolutely. And we've got some things in the works. In fact, you guys are probably going to see our video before you see this video because it's going up tomorrow, which is Monday. I'm going to put a link down in the description of this video. You guys make sure that you are following the Controversity because we're going to be covering just a wide variety of topics and picking our top 10 list for the whole decade. So Ian's going to pick his top 10 inventions. I'm going to pick my top 10 inventions. We're each going to do our own video, and then we're going to link each other's in the descriptions for those so that we can kind of just basically compare our opinions. But more importantly than that, we can decisively come to the conclusion finally of which of us is right and which of us is wrong. That's the important part.
We'll let the people decide, but you know, it's always going to be me. But we'll let the people humor us.
I find that if there's one thing you can be sure about in society, is that if it's popular, it's good. Isn't that true?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh man, you want me to spill some beans? I love it.
So yeah, we've got a regular scheduled program going on today where we're going to talk about some of the week's weird news headlines in our our worldwide weird segment, and then we're going to drop the ball again, and I'm going to mispronounce the second topic. No, the Welcome to Florida segment where we're going to talk about the Florida Man headlines. And then we have two topics specific to this week. First of all, we're going to talk about Disney Plus because that's something that was going on this week. Do you got your subscription?
Oh, yeah, man. I've been watching all week. We watched, of course, The Mandalorian. I'm sure everybody has watched the first 2 episodes. And last night I introduced my son to Jungle to Jungle and Toddy to Jungle. It was a old Tim Allen movie that I watched a lot when I was a child. I didn't even know. I was so happy that they had that because I've been wanting to see that movie for a while.
Look, man, I know it's early in the show, but I've just got to bring the race into it. When you hear Tim Allen in a movie called Jungle to Jungle and you haven't seen it when you're a child, because I haven't seen it, I would immediately be concerned about the content. Oh, Tim Allen. Oh, boy.
This is before I even knew he was a crazy conservative. But, you know, I'm still a fan of Tim Allen. He's a very funny guy. But, yeah, you're right on. If that movie came out today, people, yeah.
They'd be like,
yeah, exactly. They do the Tim Allen voice.
And then we're also going to talk about some most epic gender reveal fails because I think they started coming around in like 2008, right about the time of YouTube. And people started off like, we're going to cut this cake open and we're going to find out if it's pink or blue. And today people are fucking blowing up pipe bombs, hitting grandmother with shrapnel and shit. But I don't think it's going anywhere.
Whatever the blood comes out looking like.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that amazing fad. It's like right there with planking and all the other dumb shit people do for the. Oh, speaking of which, like the irony is not lost on me. We are putting on a show for you guys, but we're staying safe. Neither of us plan on blowing off any fingers or anything like that throughout the course of it. But like, I'll play the SEO game with you guys. If you want to hear a fucking rap about the Popeyes chicken versus Chick-fil-A, I got you.
Ooh,
I'll make that video.
That's the battle of the decade right there, man.
We got to do that. That's going to be one of them. Top 10 chicken sandwiches of the decade.
Ooh, I already know my pick. I love Popeye's chicken sandwich, tell you the truth. I do go up in there with my brass knuckles and my headgear on, but that chick is pretty good. It didn't make me want to kill anybody or, fight. It does make me want to slap someone's mom, but it's not that good. It does make me want to brawl.
I can't imagine anything that doesn't make you want to slap somebody's mom, Ian.
I mean, green beans and onions. Mothers are safe.
All right, that's fair. So in this first segment in the Worldwide Weird, this is a pretty disgusting headline. LA woman attacked by diarrhea.
Whoa.
And I haven't, the way that I'm doing this lately, man, I've only read the headline. So we're learning about this together. But apparently, according to the New York Post, a homeless man hurls a bucket of diarrhea at a woman near the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Hot diarrhea as well, not just diarrhea. Okay. And officials told her after the assault, I guess you'd call that an assault afterwards, that there's no way that this was feces from one incident, that it looked like he'd been saving it up
Oh, for a good day, huh?
She said she was soaked and it was
Don't
coming
stand
off my
back
eyelashes into my eyes. All right, bro. So you get off a bus. You're going to go and check out the Hollywood Walk of Fame. First time you're like, oh, LA, this is where magic happens. The movie industry. And you get out and some dude just comes running up. I imagine it being like one of those, like on Fantasia, you know, when Mickey's the fucking the wizard or whatever, and he's got those buckets and he's trying to like get the water out of there.
Oh God, that was a terrible image. Wow.
He comes and runs up on you and just hits you with a bucket of diarrhea. What are you doing?
So I'm glad you explained to me that this was a homeless person, because I thought it was like a drive-by, like when you're sitting in the car and you see her from afar, diarrhea. I didn't know what you were getting at with that. But and I was about to say too, like, wow, is the prices of bullets really that high that you got to go to that? Like, okay, drive-by, because I know LA has a problem with that.
It's true.
So throwing diarrhea. No, I don't know how to react. I'd probably kill him. I don't know. There's nothing else you could do besides go straight to murder if someone throws not just diarrhea but hot diarrhea that they've been saving. He's homeless, so he doesn't have a microwave, so he's probably had this in the sun, probably put it in his pants to make it a little warmer. I don't know how a homeless person, and it's already LA, it's already hot, so this is sick, man.
It's, you know, I feel like I have to carefully gauge these topics for every week, because it's a fine line between haha, that's fucking funny, and oh my God, that's a terrible tragedy, society's fucked. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's definitely it's funny to an extent, but like you're right. When you put yourself in that position, man, black out. I don't know how I'd react.
Yeah. Oh, dude, see, for me, I know myself well enough. I mean, my first instinct would be like, oh my God, I've got to get to a public restroom. Like ahead of everything else, I'll come back and find the guy afterwards. But my immediate reaction is going to be to get, yeah. Honestly, that's what you'd have to do.
Right. Well, look at it from the homeless guy's point of view, man. He's probably tired of society. He's tired of people coming. This is his house. This is everywhere around LA is his home, because he actually has no home, and people are just coming off of a bus. Hey, taking pictures. Hey, I'm hungry. Can you lend me some money, food? Screw you, homeless man. It's all about me. Selfie. He's probably tired of that society. You know what? You guys keep crapping on me metaphorically. I'm going to do it physically.
Yeah, that's a really good point, man. I like that. So all right, dude, you're a homeless person. You've been saving up a bucket of shit for a month, just waiting for the right person. What is it about this girl getting off the bus that makes you decide she's the one that's about to get hit with it?
I gotta see her. I mean, if she gave me, if you see her taking a selfie with those duck lips, throw them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if she looked like an Instagram influencer, she's the first to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I wanted to send you a Vice documentary about that too, off camera. But yeah, if she's looking like douchey like that, or if she's talking down on people, I don't know. If she's wearing certain hats that people disagree with. Maybe I can see that.
Yeah. Or if she's a PETA member and she literally just now splashed somebody else with red paint, I think that's fair game.
I understand that. I don't like when people do that. I don't like when people throw stuff in general at people, but I do understand to an extent PETA's point of view when it comes to anger, but throwing blood's a little extreme. Dookie, that's definitely next level, man. Yeah. Maybe she was wearing something fur, and this is the dookie of that animal that you're wearing.
Fucking fur is turder. All right. Next headline: Booze, gunshots, and White Castle. 3 judges are suspended for a brawl. I love this story. Did you hear anything about this?
Okay, tell me about it.
This one I actually did just pick up on little bits and pieces of. So this is in the New York Times, which means I'm not going to be able to read it. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go.
A nice shot.
The judge's plan, if there was ever one, was to enjoy a couple of drinks with their colleagues the night before a judicial conference in Indianapolis. But by 3 a.m. the next morning, 3 Indiana Circuit Court judges, by way of a failed attempt to enter a strip club, were brawling with 2 strangers outside a White Castle in a drunken melee that ended up with 2 judges shot and in critical condition in a hospital. So there were 3 judges that were at like a fucking judge conference or something. It was 2 men and a woman, all white people. middle age. They said they're going to go out to a strip club, which in itself, that's kind of funny to think about judges in a strip club.
I mean, I just assume a lot of them are. I mean, you nailed it right there. Like, it's just these is old white people, and they judge people that they're holier than thou. I mean, it's their job, and then they do stuff like go to the strip club because that's what humans do. But they pretend like they're holier than thou. Sorry.
No, you're right. I mean, I think that's the big takeaway from it. And I've always said it's such a fine line between the people that are incarcerated and the people who are right on the other side of the judgment space. Because everybody fucking does things that are questionable. So apparently they're sitting outside of this White Castle and somebody drives by and yells some shit at them. The female among them, because of course it was, decides to flick him the bird and fucking yell some shit at him. So the dudes stop and they get out of the car and they get into an altercation. But of course it was the chick. And then like right afterwards in the report, she's like, oh my God, I feel like it was all my fault. But then like the next day, conveniently, she's like lost memory of everything that happened surrounding the event. So she took the fucking cop out.
She knows what she can get away with.
100%, bro.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Oh, memory loss. And, especially if she was the aggressor, she probably knows a thing or two to get out of that situation.
So, heated verbal altercation ensues. The dispute quickly escalated to a brawl. Both the guys got shot. Apparently, they were just like fighting. And again, fine line between funny and tragedy. The guys are both fine, I mean, other than the whole fucking 14-day in hospitalization, which not awesome, but
this is my ignorance too, because like I've been to a courthouse many of times, but majority, and this is not all been old men. Old white men.
Yeah. Judges. I'm
just picturing like men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s brawling. I'm just like, really? But this sounds like something like maybe 40s and 50s would do.
No, yeah, they're young, man. The female judge looks my age, that which is relative. I'd say 35.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah.
You're getting young. I guess you can do that when you're eligible, but dang,
dude, have you seen Tulsi Gabbard? The Democratic nominee. She's from Hawaii.
Nah.
She's cute, man. She's like 38 years old, running for president, super smart. She's never going to win, though. Like, I mean, she's like a surfer and shit. Yeah, exactly. Young and intelligent. There's no way. I think and the same with Andrew Yang. Young. The young is what's going to fuck them over, because apparently we like to nominate fossils into office. You got to be at least 70. It makes no fucking sense. They got Barack in there pretty young, which is cool. But by the time he came out of there, I don't know how he did it. He aged 30 fucking years in an 8-year period.
You're right, though. This is a crazy story, though, but tell you the truth, because like it just seems like something like that would happen down the road in Florida, like
it does.
Crackheads. But these are judges. These are people that decide if you need to go to jail or not. This is insane.
So I was talking to a friend who has a record, so he's not allowed to vote, like for the rest of his life, which is crazy. They're talking about changing it in Florida. But I was talking to him about jury duty one time, and I was kind of like, I would never do jury duty. I've been called down to do jury duty before, and they ask you a series of questions in hopes of being able to realize if you can be an objective juror, or if you're going to have bias, in particular bias against the legal system, the system in general. And, I think it was Spider-Man Homecoming, but where they're like, if you answer all of the multiple choice questions wrong, then you have to know the right answer. So, like, I wasn't necessarily saying what was true, but I said every fucking thing that I could to get out of jury duty that day. Do you have a problem with the police? I'm, like, raising my hand. Can you be biased about being able to tell if a person's innocent or guilty? I'm raising my hand. And the whole justification for all of this is the point of this, is that I don't want to be responsible for convicting an innocent person.
I agree, man.
His side of the argument, and this is interesting, I never thought about it, is I want to hang the jury up and get the person off regardless of what they did. And I'm like, man, fuck a guilty person. I just don't want to be responsible for convicting an innocent person.
See, yeah, you sound like you both had two sides of the same coin. Like I'm on your side though. Like I don't want to be that, because there's people and there's that guy right now that actually probably won't be executed in Texas, thank God. But he was about to be electrocuted for a murder he didn't commit. It was like a girlfriend cheated on her fiance with this black dude, and this black dude was a racist cop, and he seemed like he framed it. But that's a different story.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy story. And he's like days into becoming executed, and they're appealing it and all that stuff. But yeah, I would not want that. That would be haunt me daily if I found out the evidence that this person that didn't do it later on, like forensics and stuff like that. I would go crazy, because I would be a part of pulling this guy's lever to die, and I wouldn't like that. But I understand too the F the police mindset too from the other guy. I get it. Like, you guys do so much terrible things to society. You guys are just raping people metaphorically inside the justice system. How about we stick it to you guys by letting this murderer get off? Yeah,
and that's taken to like, I'm even talking about like I know you don't go to jury trial for like a DUI or something, but I don't want to send some 17-year-old kid off to jail for shoplifting or like any of that shit.
He's a kid. He can fix his life. Let's just not ruin it before it even started.
Yeah. So I do understand both sides of it though, but that's the kind of thing about the legal system is people are executed as innocent citizens all the time. It's a horrible thing. But what about the prisoners who they're in prison for a crime they did commit, a crime like murder, and they're serving a life sentence? They're supposed to not get out of jail till the day they die. And while they're in the hospital, they have kidney failure, they flatline, they die, they're resuscitated, and now they say, look, I served my life sentence, man. I was fucking technically dead for like a minute. There's a story in New York, in the New York Times right now, an Iowa inmate served a life sentence because he died of kidney failure, and now he's trying to get out, and he's thinking about taking it to Supreme Court. Does he have a case?
Honest to God, man. I mean, in his position, I'd fight it.
That's a fucked up loophole.
What else do you have to lose? And I think he possibly did find a loophole. If he could prove that his heart stopped and he crossed the other line and came back, I think he actually has a case.
That is the craziest story, bro. Who would have fucking thought about that?
Story though. But he actually does have a case. And if I was in that position, like I'm going to die anyway, why not fight it?
Yeah. What else are you going to do? Iowa inmate serving a life sentence says he should be a free man after he became ill, momentarily died, and had to be revived at the hospital, but the courts are having none of it. Benjamin Schreiber was sentenced to life in prison without parole in 1997 after being convicted of a first-degree murder. In March 2015, he developed large kidney stones that led to septic poisoning. According to court documents, he eventually fell unconscious in his cell and was taken to the local hospital, where he was resuscitated 5 separate times. He's like a cat, man.
He wasted 5 of those lives.
Yeah.
That's great. But here's a negative thing to that. As much as I actually do support this dude, because I just want to see where that would go. But there's a negative to that story. There'll be inmates now that are gonna be like, "Oh, let's play the pass out game. Let's drown ourselves in the toilet, and then hey, revive me when you see me pass out, and then I'll call the guard, be like, hey, I've technically died. Let me out of here."
Yeah, dude, they get Kiefer Sutherland from fucking Flatliners to come in there.
See what I'm saying? That I could see if he actually wins this case, I could see that being a thing. But then you'll have a lot of people dying, at the blue and. Yeah.
I mean, that's just Darwinism at that point. It's like, hey, bro, you fucked around. I don't know. Yeah, he is a convicted murderer, so fuck him. But at the same time, man, kind of back to what we were saying on that last story, it would be kind of funny just to see that upset the status quo just a little bit.
Yeah, and then they'll have to change the loop, change the whole thing. Like, hey, when you're sentenced to death, does not mean technically dying and reviving in prison.
Yeah, it's never happened before. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so and then over in France, this is a positive story. Over in France at about 4 a.m., there is a woman on the dance floor. She's out for a carefree night with her friends when she gives birth to a child on the dance floor, which is granted a lifetime free pass to said club. I mean, that's pretty cool for the kid, right?
Oh wow, yeah. So he came out the womb dancing. He'll probably die dancing. Like that'll be his second home.
I've never known of any dance clubs that have stayed open for 18 years for him even able to get in, but that's fine.
We're living in Florida though, man. We don't expect all that. I mean,
yeah.
But that's crazy. Why would you go out dancing when you're pregnant?
They said she wasn't drinking. It did not say whether or not she was on MDMA. So there are definite, like, I've got questions. But
I guess you can. I mean, I'm not against going out when you're pregnant. Let me rephrase that. Why don't go out when you're about to pop? That's where I would say.
Yeah, yeah. Like, hey, your body, your business. We're not saying that. Just like 8 months and 3.5 weeks. Maybe you should sit this one out.
Yeah, I would say so too. Especially in an environment where people are always bumping into each other, and accidents happen. You got people throwing dookie out there. You got, and if you're in a place like a strip club, you could be brawling with judges. So I wouldn't take a pregnant woman to any of these places.
A woman's night out on the town ended in a life-changing event when she gave birth on the dance floor. The woman was only identified as a 19-year-old and was visiting the O Club in Toulouse, France, when she suddenly went into labor, according to CEN. At around 5:30 a.m. on Monday, what the fuck? Which is near the club's closing time. God damn, they go hard in France. A bouncer approached the club's manager after seeing the woman lie down on the floor to alert them of the emergency, according to the report. Quote says, there were not many people and a bouncer came to see me, who was identified as the manager. He said, it's urgent, and then I saw that she was giving birth. Holy fuck.
And you said 5 a.m. too?
Oh, no. Yeah, dude, like,
I'm over here thinking this is like maybe 10, 11, or 12 o'clock at night. 5 a.m.? What?
On a Monday.
This must be the craziest DJ of all time. This must... my contractions, but this song is so lit.
Yeah, dude, he was so lit. She wasn't even pregnant when she went in there. She went through the whole fucking term. I mean, you're a DJ. You've seen shit like that. I'm sure you've seen multiple women have birth on a fucking dance floor.
I've missed that one.
Oh.
I guess I wasn't working that night.
Wrong clubs, I guess.
I've seen some people pregnant in clubs, though. I've seen some ratchet things in my day. I've not seen a baby pop out of a birth canal and then keep the party going.
Are you ready to call her a piece of shit for it, or are we just gonna stay? We're gonna say Sweden.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna stay Sweden with that. I almost did when you said 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, okay, I can't defend you anymore. What? Really?
That's crazy. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and hit Interstate 10 and head on over to Ian and my favorite state, the best state on the map, the dick of North America. We're talking about Florida, baby. In this week's episode, we're got a couple of doozies of headlines, starting with Florida woman bites boyfriend in the penis out of frustration.
Why not?
Dude, obviously we know how it happens, but okay, so there is a couple, and they live in a Miami Beach apartment. They got into an argument after the girlfriend's friend left the apartment. She's like, you want to fuck that girl? And the guy apparently is like, no, I didn't. They got in an argument and things escalated, I guess, because she somehow bit his dick, which in a fighting match, you don't want to have your dick exposed, I'd imagine, right?
That was the first thing I thought of. Like, usually I argue both sides. I'm going to definitely not take her side on this one because I have an obvious bias.
Yeah. As a penis carrying member of Florida.
But I will say this, were you guys fighting naked? Like, I don't understand. Like, did she approach him naked? Like, you want to have sex with him? And he's like, why? Like, because you're naked. I don't know. Or did she, like, strip him naked while they were fighting?
She bite it through the jeans.
See, that would make a little bit more sense. Hopefully that would stop. Maybe give you a little bit rug burn, but hopefully it wouldn't, like, affect it as much as if he was butt naked.
Man, if my wife came at me like X-23 fucking diving for the waistline just to fucking bite my dick, dude, I'd have to call it quits.
Do you think that she waited till he was naked, though? Like, maybe he's in the shower and she's like, baby, can I jump in the shower with you? And he's like, yeah, come on. Hey, while I got you in here, I want to talk to you about something. It's not the way you looked at my friend.
Just totally 180 switches on you like, oh, shit.
You
I
can't
did
say
something
that
wrong.
never happens, Jeremy. Like, I'm not gonna categorize all women, but that would happen sometimes in fights. Like, okay, I'm gonna take you when you're most vulnerable.
Uh-huh.
I'm going right for the dick right now.
You've got to have trust in a relationship. You sleep next to that fucking person. They can fuck you up if they wanted to.
Oh yeah, especially
I lie up at night and I wonder because I can tell Victoria's sitting up thinking about all of the fucking stress that I've caused her over the years, and I'm like, man.
Oh yeah, she's ready. I mean, you go to sleep before she does. Oh boy.
Yeah. One eye open. It's for my own good because I know what I did. She knows I did something.
Victoria.
Yeah. So apparently she was poking him with a knife too. He had some slight redness to his upper chest area. It doesn't sound like she was trying to hurt him. I mean, of all of the Florida man stories that I've heard of, but she did get arrested and she's being held on $6,500 bond. I don't know if they should stay together.
I don't think they should, but I wouldn't bet that they wouldn't. There's people are crazy, man.
Yeah. Oh, they're going straight back to it. That's a normal. That chances are pretty good. That's not a completely out of the ordinary situation for this couple.
Oh, for sure, man. They might get engaged next week. It's just an eye opener for me, baby. Yes. You really do love me.
100%. I know you care. All right. Florida man claims wind blew bag of cocaine into his car.
Oh, wow. I've heard a story like that. I've heard this was like a couple years ago. A girl said that too. Hey, she got pulled over by police and he was like, what's going on? Oh, there's some cocaine here. And she responded, oh, the wind fluid in there. I think that was an Ohio story. But this is not the first time I've heard a story like that.
That's great.
Dumbest excuse you could use.
I mean, if the cocaine were like out of the bag, sure, maybe, but wind don't blow bags of cocaine. No, I think it was a bag. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense.
If it's a bag, I can't. Yeah. But if it was just the powder, maybe you can make that excuse.
Like, yes.
The lawyer could possibly work with that. But a bag, no.
Yeah.
And if you tested positive for it, you're out of there.
So when the officer approached the car, he said that Zach, I guess is the name of the person, was trying to hide an open can of Budweiser and was spotted making furtive movements, leaning over toward the center console and attempting to discard an item out of the passenger window. They revealed a crack pipe in the center console and a clear baggie with whitish residue, which tested positive for crack.
Dang, did he claim all that other stuff jumped in the window as well, or is it just the coke?
Yeah, it's my lucky day, man. I had my crack pipe and the shit just blew straight into the bowl. Like, perfect.
God is good. Nah, man. Yeah. So I drive these Florida streets a lot because my job is like literally an hour from my house, and not once, and I have drove with the window down. Not once has drugs flew into my window.
But it does, like,
though.
Sometimes you need to pick me up when you're on an hour car ride. I mean, I think that's fair.
Well, I didn't say he's not justified for having cocaine. I'm just saying for him to say it flew in his window, though. I mean, if he needs to stay up, if he's doing the night shift, do what you do, man.
Dude, that is a lie that I could deal with, though, way over a Wesley Chapel man accused of pretending to be a dentist. Oh, no, thank you.
Wow, Wesley Chapel is literally like 10 minutes from my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a guy who 33-year-old Jose Emilio Mas Fernandez was arrested on Wednesday after police say an undercover detective scheduled an appointment to have a tooth pulled. According to the arrest report, Fernandez told the detective over the phone that he could pull his tooth and provide antibiotics for $150. Police say detective went to Ferdinand's home at blank, we don't need to say the fucking address, and found the dental instruments. He was detained, and the arrest report states he admitted to performing dental cleanings and tooth extractions from his home. On one side of this, it's horrifying to think you got an unlicensed dentist working on your teeth. On the other hand, if he can extract your tooth and give you antibiotics for $150, that could help a lot of people out.
Yeah, you know it. I just went to the dentist recently, like maybe a couple months ago, and I do need a tooth pull because I'm going to be getting a crown and all that stuff, but. The bill on that was disrespectful. It was like $3,000. I don't remember how much it was, it was nowhere near $100.
Yeah.
And if this dude has a great track record, like I understand it's under the table, but if he proves to do his job well, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things he's got to be doing. Like, you can't be using medical tools from the turn of the century or some shit.
Obviously,
you got to make sure you're sanitizing your shit to avoid any sort of bloodborne illnesses, all that kind of shit, with which I'm not going to your home dentist office. But if somebody needs that shit, I'm also like, I ain't mad about it. But $150 is not a lot of money to go to jail for. That's that's tough. Like, what was this undercover detective calling him for? That's crazy.
That's insane. This is a crazy story, man. And the fact that this is like in my own backyard, like not just Florida, but like literally 10 miles that way. Crazy, man.
Yeah, and I would have I didn't know where Wesley Chapel was. That is crazy. I know.
It's in the Tampa area. Yep, it's in the North Tampa area.
It was like a couple weeks ago, man. We had some from Milton. We had some from Crestview. I mean, shit right between where me and you used to live, where you used to live and where I live now.
Area, yeah.
Crazy Florida, man. Crazy, crazy fucking state. All right. Well, we got, I think, one or two more, and then we're going to go ahead and head on over to the week's topics. Okay, South Florida man attacked by a raccoon.
Okay, I could see that. I mean, there's raccoons in my our dumpster. Like, I won't even take the trash out at nighttime because I've literally opened it before, and there's like a raccoon will be like, "Hey, what you got over there for us to eat?"
Really?
All right, I'm done.
Man, I always get stuck seeing possums, and those things are fucking nasty looking. At least raccoons, and they're about the same. But raccoons are cute.
Both of them smell disgusting, but I get what you're saying when it comes to appearance. Raccoons are kind of cute. Possums, they look like they are born and raised here in Florida.
In trash, yeah.
Just they are the animal. They are the crackheads of the animal kingdom. Right,
for sure. So Kevin Williams said he stepped out for a cigarette at 3:30 in the morning on Monday when he saw the animal lunge at him. He says he kicked the raccoon and it came back at him. He threw it into a tree, and it came back. He says the animal attacked him 4 times, all while the scratching and biting at his feet, legs, and hands. The animal nearly bit off the top of one of his fingers. He said it wasn't until he choked it that it stopped. I was really battling for my life because if I would have fell when I turned around and kicking it in the head, I would have turned around and he grabbed my heel and put a big gash in that. Right now, I'm just trying to make sense of it and keep some sanity here. Dude, he got PTSD.
All this in my head right now. That's why I'm laughing so hard. Like it's straight up a movie. This looks like a fight that you would see like in an Ace Ventura movie. That's insane.
It's like, dude, if only he were Jack from The Incredibles 2, he would have came out on top.
Yeah, not all of us have those abilities, but that's crazy, man. But he is right though. Raccoons are aggressive. I've seen actually a video where this dude was I'll send it to you. He was on his porch and there's this raccoon just chilling there. And he's like with his broom, "Shoot, get out of here!" And he got out for a second, then he came back full speed.
What?
Say what?
I said, for real, they are mean, huh?
They are. Yeah, they're aggressive. They'll fight with you if you fight with them.
Oh, his arm got fucked up, dude. His arm did get fucked up. Yeah, I mean, it's like
got rabies now.
Holy shit! About bit his finger off. Yeah, I never knew, man. I've seen raccoons. I don't know, from a distance or some shit. I know I've seen squirrels. I've seen possums. I know possums are mean and they'll stand their ground, but I've never seen one be the aggressor. That's insane.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Raccoons are definitely crazy.
He choked it out, man. Had to choke a fucking raccoon to death with his bare hands.
I would have paid to watch that, by the way.
That is some Florida man shit. All right. So first of all, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Is Disney Plus worth the $7 a month, Ian?
I'd say so. Just compared to the other streaming services, how much like Netflix. I love Netflix, by the way, so I don't think Netflix has anything to worry about when it comes to like the competition. They still got the adult content and like stand-up stuff. So I think they're good. Disney Plus is not going to turn down anybody, but I'm not feeling their prices at the moment. HBO Max is going to be like $18 as well. There's a lot of other ones that are just way more than the $7 a month. I think it's good for the price, but there's some movies that I thought there would kind of be more because they have the Fox library. And there's some Disney movies that we've typed, and they're like, "Hey, coming in 2020." I'm like, "What? How long have you guys been ready for this?"
Yeah.
So, yes, I do agree that it's fine. I think $7 is fair, especially for the whole library. But you need to put the rest of the library on there, Disney, and a lot more of the Fox stuff too. You guys got so much content. Put it on there, man. And it sucks we have to wait for it.
Dude, on one hand, it's like, you log into Disney Plus and you're paying $7 a month, and you scroll from one side of your select screen to the other, and it's like quality shit, quality shit, quality shit. You don't have to weed through so much just mediocre ass content. But when I say it's quality shit, it's also quality shit that I've seen like 10 to 20 times already, over and over again.
You got a point right there, because what the difference between like Netflix and Hulu, like we're watching stuff that is new to us, which I would prefer watching new stuff. As much as I love nostalgia, I'm enjoying watching the old X-Men and Darkwing Duck and stuff like that. But this is more for my child, I guess. Like, hey, I like this as a kid. Check this out.
Yeah.
But I found myself like watching X-Men the other day for like maybe an episode, and I was like, all right, I want to watch something else. It's cool to go back to that nostalgia, but I don't want to rewatch a whole series again that I've watched before.
Yeah, and X-Men, man, I hate to say it because it was definitely one of my favorites growing up. It does not hold up like your Batman, the animated series. I'm glad
you mentioned that. There's a lot of stuff on Disney Plus that's like nostalgia old that does not hold up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it real with you. Like, we were kind of sold on our childhood, which it does put me in a great place to watch some of this, but as a movie critic, sometimes I'm just like, dang, there's a reason why Netflix didn't pick this one up.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this is not talked about a lot anymore.
So I've watched The Mandalorian episode 1 and 2 like now 2 or 3 times. And I'm just all right with it. I don't even think it's all that great.
I disagree.
So you think it's great?
I think it's amazing, man. I think now there was some CGI issues I had, like especially with the first episode, to look a little like prequel-y, but I think Jon Favreau has a good vision on Star Wars. I like it a lot, man. You know, no disrespect to you, but
none
cool.
taken. It's fine. It's fine.
It is fun. I like this guy more than Boba Fett. A lot of people disagree with that.
I think I can agree with that.
Character.
Yeah, I said I think I can agree with that. I like Pedro Pascal as an actor. I mean, we've already gotten to know this character better than we ever fucking knew Boba Fett. Jango Fett, it's debatable, but
yeah, I get that.
There's little things about it that I like a lot, and then there's other things about it that I don't quite understand. Like, okay, and this is dumb Star Wars shit to get hung up on, but like, why did he need to mount that tadpole frog thing? The motherfucker's got a jetpack, don't he? I mean, fucking Boba Fett had a jetpack. He could just fly over whatever he needed that thing for. He could have done it better with a jetpack.
No. Okay, so that I will agree with you. I think I did have that question as well. Like, I don't know what this is. This is a weird montage, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point of that was, but maybe we'll get more of it. It's only episode 2, Jeremy.
It's a Western trope. It's a gunslinger learning how to mount a fucking horse, like, or a bull or whatever. Yeah, you know, I get it. It's a homage thing. Okay, so that's fine. Does he have some sort of tracker or like a virtual leash that keeps the little baby carriage in motion next to him?
Yes, he does. And I had that question the first time I watched it, but then the second time, if you watch him, especially when that one thing is charging at him,
and he
in the
shoots
episode,
him to a different direction.
Yeah, he steered him like he's got like some remote on his hand where he steered him to the other direction.
That's actually where I noticed it on the second viewing. It's just little things, or like why he's on that like elevated platform that's got all the like loot or merchandise that he just now got back from the Jawas on it, and it's floating above the ground being towed by one of those fucking frog things. And I'm just thinking, like, if you can get it up off the ground, all it needs is a good push. It's obviously there's no sort of what inertia interacting here. Like, it's weightless, obviously, because the thing's just able to fucking. But anyways, that's dumb shit for a Star Wars movie. I know. For me to be concerned about.
I have one pick that'll make you think. Okay, so what those they're not sand people. What are those little
Jawas?
Jawas, yeah. So are Jawas on every planet, or because I just thought they were on Tatooine? I was a little confused. Like, is this Tatooine he's on?
I swore it was.
Say what?
I swore it was, but maybe it's not.
Yes, they never confirmed what planet it was. So like, the first thing I'm thinking, like, are they on Tatooine? And if it's not Tatooine, then I'm very confused. Like, okay, I guess in the galaxy far, far away, they're way more progressive than us. That they have all these aliens like landing on. But I just assumed that species was just like would never go anywhere else. I felt like they were just grounded to their home planet. But that's just weird that there's Jawas on every planet. That's a little weird.
You make a way better point than the shit I was talking about. That actually has some sort of bearing in the within the writing itself. But yeah, you bring up a good point, and people have actually talked about this because.
Oh, really? I didn't know this. I just
now Googled it. I'm on the Decider right now, and at number 3 on this list of top 10 Easter eggs or whatever is the Mandalorians come up against a band of aliens during the quest to leave the planet. A band of aliens that will be very familiar to Star Wars fans, the Jawas. The scavengers ransack the Mandalorian ship Razor Crest, rendering it incapable of flight and definitely incapable of space travel. However, they're not your typical Jawas, even if they generally look the same. They have catchphrases. These are their new Star Wars Black Series action figure reveal. Oh, okay, gotcha. So they're a slight variation on the Jawa meant to sell new action figures. They're not on Tatooine. It's actually Arvalia 7. In true Star Wars fashion, the name is not mentioned in the episode, but rather somewhere else. So while it's not Tatooine, it's definitely a planet that a group of Jawas here claim as their own pillage. But yeah, you're right. And not just them. I mean, like, there's the Bossk species, like the lizard people on there. There's a lot of shit that we've seen in other Star Wars.
I think you just kind of brought up a point that I have just in problem with Star Wars in general. And, you know, it's and you can say the same with like maybe Marvel or DC and big properties, but I think Star Wars is the biggest problem with this. I shouldn't have to do extra reading.
Yes.
To know what's going on.
Yes, for sure.
And when you said, like, you know, hey, it's never mentioned, because we've watched this multiple times and it definitely wasn't mentioned. I shouldn't have to look online or get a book to figure out what's going on. It should be a straight watch through, and then maybe if I want some more information, look it up after that. But
yeah, 100%, man. And I don't mean to sound like I'm being too negative on it. Like I said, I've watched it multiple times. I enjoy having it on, and that's kind of the thing that I've found about Disney Plus. To me, so far, is a fantastic screensaver. Like, I just have the shit on. I've watched Little Mermaid. I've fucking watched Avengers multiple. Like, since I've had it, something's been playing, and like I'm kind of watching it, but I've also seen it so many fucking times that it doesn't matter if I'm actually watching it or not, because you know what I mean. I could tell you every line in the fucking movie. I've seen Moana already, like, I don't know, 10 times, and I'm watching that again.
Sounds like you've been on this more than I have.
Oh, I just mean in general.
A lot of the Pixar shorts and some of and those are great. There was one that kind of made me tear up. But there's a lot of actual shorts on there that I think are really cool.
What was the good one that you're just now mentioning?
There was a Pixar short where there was this kid that was like floating around, right? And the dad was trying to get the kid to come back down, like he was flying. And so you're just like, oh, this kid has powers. So he goes outside and everyone's just looking at this kid crazy, and he's trying to bring him back inside like he's looking embarrassed a little bit. And then he takes him to the park and he's flying everywhere, and these parents and these kids are really looking at the parent crazy, like, what's wrong with you? Get your kid. And in my head, I'm just like, that is a kid that flies. That's awesome. Why would you not envy that, or like, look, get your phone out or something? Then he grabs the kid and says, why can't you just be normal? And then it hit me. It's you know how Pixar is sometimes with their subliminals. Mm-hmm. This is a message about ADHD. And so the kid immediately came down and looked sad, and he didn't want to play anymore. And he stopped flying. And then the dad felt like crap, and then he decided to embrace what the issue was with him, and he decided to fly with him and stuff like that. And at the end of the short, it said something like, it had like this message about ADHD. And I immediately knew what it was whenever he said, why can't you just be normal? But I was kind of like, what is going on this whole time? But it's an amazing short. It kind of made me tear up a little bit.
Sounds good.
With a dog and a cat that might touch your heart.
So I watched the documentary about Imagineering, about the construction of the original Disneyland park, and that was fucking cool. And then there's a Pixar one that's super cool. So man, I think at least for now there are so many like just things that make it worth $7 or as an additional add-on to your Hulu or whatever. I mean, I feel like it's a no-brainer. But if you don't like Star Wars, then it's a no-brainer. Or if you don't like Marvel, then it's a no-brainer not to get it. It just depends on what you like, you know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's more content to come as well, too, when it comes to original content. We just gotta wait. I kind of wish they would have just like, hey, let's put it out there. And like what they're doing with The Mandalorian, like putting it out every week, like starting tomorrow it's going to come out next week. But I would have preferred like, hey, we have the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We have all those other Marvel contents, but we're just releasing it one by one instead of having to wait years for it. Like, why would you even give us this advertisement? Like,
it's that slow drip, man. They just want to keep us fucking keep us on it because the tendency is like with A list or whatever with AMC, with any subscription service, you get it to fucking binge watch Game of Thrones and then you cancel it right after you've seen the thing you wanted. So if they would have released Mandalorian front to back the entire series, everybody would have already been canceled.
Well, no. Well, I get what you're saying, but I would prefer it to be like, once a week or maybe even once a month. But you're right though. If they put it all at once, like Stranger Things, I can see that being a problem. Yeah.
Here we go.
Biopic.
What was that? One more time.
Biopic.
Wait, hold up. I think I heard
biopic.
All right, just making sure.
This guy right here. You're just like me. You won't let anything go for a while. Like, I'm still mad at Andy. I'm serious. I mean, it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Nah, good. Hold that grudge. Let it fester inside you. Be a man. Fucking let it eat you from inside.
Absolutely, man. It's a path to the dark side.
All right. So this gender reveal thing, as I kind of teased up at the top, it's gotten out of hand. It's gotten fucking out of hand. I thought it was funny, but I've seen people have visceral reactions to it both ways. Did you see the one of the girl?
Yes, I already know what you're about to say. You talking about laying on the ground with no pants?
The one I'm showing you guys right now in its uncensored form. Is that computer graphics or did she actually really fart that out?
I think she did because unfortunately I've watched this many times and I saw the powder on her tush.
Oh, did you get another angle?
I did. It was I saw look before she actually does the fart. You could actually kind of see a little bit of blue on top of that booty.
Did you think it was gross or did you think it was funny?
I thought it was funny. I thought it was gross. Nothing at all. and then the group in the back just makes it funnier. Like, cause they're not laughing, they're cheering. Like they're having a great time.
Yes.
And I would have to be like, hey, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This girl just farted and blue stuff came out of her butt.
How do you make that happen?
I mean, it's just powder.
Okay, so you put the powder on your butt crack, and then you fart with such gusto that it.
How you know my brother hasn't had kids yet? I put baby powder on my son's butt before when he was changing a diaper.
Oh,
he farted and
poof! It does that.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. You really cleared some things up for me because I'm like, you can't believe anything you fucking see on the internet anymore. So I'm like, oh man, that's some deep fake. My wife's like, that's not how deep fakes work, Boomer. And I'm like, nah, for real.
You said Boomer. Shit. This is Boomer on Boomer crime over here.
Yes. But that's not all, man. I mean, there have been fucked up ones. And how I mentioned, sometimes we have to like kind of choose our battles. But I also mentioned the whole like survival of the fittest Darwinism thing in regards to people just like straight up passing themselves out in jail to die. And to me, this is like, it's kind of the equivalent. Like there was this couple that they decided they were going to have an explosion where like the smoke that came off of it was going to be whatever color of the gender of the baby was, and they inadvertently made a pipe bomb And when it exploded, it sent a piece of shrapnel flying like 100 yards and hit the grandmother to be in the head and fucking killed her. And then like the next day, there's some other gender reveal thing coming out and some other gender reveal thing coming out. So to see this girl do this like fairly innocuous, kind of funny, just like little boots, that's way fucking better to me than like...
For sure, man. If that's the line, that's cool, man. But what you just said about an explosion, holy crap, that could have been the mother of the child. I mean, it sucks that the grandma got hit, but that's crazy. It could have been the pregnant lady.
Yeah, right? And it is. It's fucked up that the grandmother got killed because she wasn't the idiot that came up with the idea. It's always when fathers are having sons and doing gender reveals, somebody's gonna die. It's just something in our fucking DNA, man, that we got to do it bigger and better than everybody else. There's got to be tanks and shit involved, fucking pipe bombs. Like, whatever happened to, like, they used to just, like, cut the cake and be like, oh, look at that.
A balloon or something like that. I've seen a grandma take off her wig. It was a weave or something like that, and, you know, the color came up on her.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Like, keep it small. Okay, there was one of a airplane earlier this month. The National Transportation Safety Board report showed that a gender reveal was believed to have caused an airplane crash in Texas after the pilot dumped about 350 gallons of pink water. And then last year, a video by the U.S. Forest Service showed how a gender reveal event led to a costly wildfire in southern Arizona that forced about 200 people out of their homes. Yes, dude.
Okay, so something just popped in my head too. Like, these got to be rich people, because I remember when the mother of my child was pregnant, I didn't have money for all this.
Oh, you couldn't just get a private plane to fucking fly?
Couldn't get no plane. We did the cake thing. You know, that's all we did. I didn't got time to be like, yo, okay, so we got to get diapers. We gotta get a straight up limousine. We gotta what else we gotta do? We gotta get a weather balloon. We gotta
You're really thinking like
up with blue dye, and then we gotta throw it in the air and shoot it. I ain't had that money. I was broke.
Yeah, you're like, I've got to get diapers. Period. Yeah. Like, that's what I've got to get. Yeah, no shit. I mean, that's relatable. All this other shit's crazy. It's internet culture. People want to fucking prove something. But this is a new kind of ritualization that's happening during pregnancies, where it's almost like everybody feels like it's part of the tradition now. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people.
Soon they're going to be snorting Smarties, and then they're going to just throw it all up. Oh, it's blue.
I know I try to stay away from this stuff as much as possible because I know it sounds gross every once in a while, but I just have to say there's this person named Guignard who came out and wrote this book and a study about it. And their criticism is that I don't think it creates the gender binary, but it kind of reinforces it. There's a new cultural construct going on here, because if a fetus has male genitals, of course people are going to say it's a boy. So basically they're saying with more gender fluidity now that it's reinforcing this binary view about gender. And I'm just like, is that what the conversation is? Or is it that we shouldn't be blowing up 100 acres?
I'm a deep thinker, but man, he went really deep on that one. I didn't even.
Yeah, right. Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, we're just talking about let's not blow things up. You're like, now you're putting a pause on what their actual gender is. But he does make me laugh a little bit. Like, hey, that would be funny if, like, hey, it's a boy, and you just put up blue stuff all over the place and just went crazy. Paint your house blue. Hey, that's my gender reveal. I'm insane. And then, like, at 5, the kid like, hey, man, I kind of want to be a girl. That'd be so funny.
Yeah. And I mean, and dude, I've heard for years now, even before the gender fluidity was a thing, it's like girls don't necessarily like the color pink. Boys don't necessarily like the color blue, but this is a tradition as old as, I can only speculate how long people have been doing it, but I know since at least like the 1950s. When a thing is born with a penis, it gets the blue shit. When it's born with a vagina, it gets the pink shit, and that's just the way that it's always been. But I guess that in itself is not an excuse to keep it going, right?
No. I mean, you have that point of color. Why is a color a gender thing? Like, it is kind of like the argument of like, hey, you're a girl, you have to play with that Barbie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm against that. You could play. I played with Barbies I just had to have my action figure marry somebody. I wasn't that I'm gay. It didn't make me want to be a woman. But
Yeah.
But I'm against that. So I can understand the argument. Like, why does this color have to be that? This color's at the end of the day. I've wore pink shirts before. And there's nothing makes me weird about that. And
Nah.
my girlfriend has a bunch of blue stuff. So
I was at the outlet mall in Destin last weekend, and there were two women about my age that were from, you could tell, north of the island. They were from up 331, like the Defuniak, Crestview area, Niceville area. And they were looking at men's apparel, and they found this one shirt that was like, it was kind of florally, but it was kind of like paisley also, and it was long sleeve, and it was almost like a maroon color, almost maybe purple, but it was darker palette. And they were laughing at it, and they were like, "Oh my God, I'm sure your husband would love this. Oh, is this for guys?" And I'm just looking at it like, that is like one of the least like flamboyant shirts in my collection. You know what I mean? Like, that is not near as like pink or florally or fucking purple or any of that shit of half of the things that I've worn. But I just thought it was interesting to see people still in that mindset. Cause like,
yeah,
if my wife brings me something and she's like, "You're going to look good in this," then like, that's good enough for me. Like, how hung up on fashion am I that I'm like, I ain't going to wear that. That'll make me look gay in front of my boyfriends. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
what
you're
are you
right.
worried
Your
about,
wife
bro?
is the bar. Like, who cares what your friends or other guys think? Your wife thinks you look good in it. Yeah, I'd rock it.
Yeah, no shit. I think
They're
that's
not
so
gonna suck
weird.
your pee-pee,
My hunting buddies are gonna think I'm gay.
Oh, how about the girl that actually is doing things with you?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see. What is the most epic gender reveal fail? I know there are really good videos on it where it's just like people hitting pinatas and fucking missing, or like siblings finding out that they're having a brother or a sister and just completely fucking melting down,
I think the craziest ones I've actually seen had to been that fart one, and then the lady that took her weave off. I think those two are the wows.
I want to see. I'm pulling that one up. Then I'm gonna look at the weave gender reveal.
See, make sure you get the right one. But yeah, weave gender reveal, I guess.
I think I see it. Is it the top one right there? Caters viral.
Well, it's a black woman, so
Yeah, I mean that yeah, fair assumption.
4,
yeah, that's it.
3, 2, 1.
What damn? Twin! Y'all don't stress me the
See, that one was the craziest one until I saw the fart one, and then I was like, all right, the bar has been risen.
That's funny. Yes, not dangerous. It's gonna be crazy redneck white people in middle America that are the ones that are taking this shit way too seriously.
You know that.
Like, who else is it gonna be? Oh shit. All right. Well, anything else before we wrap this very meaningful episode of the podcast up?
I just want to ask one question about the streaming service in general, man. Do you think that of course I'm sure this topic comes up a lot on your show as well, but do you think it's going to be harmful for our society? Like, do you think we're going to turn into those big guys from Wall-E because we have so much content? And before you even answer too, like I'll talk to some of my nerdy friends and like, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And I'm like, dude, I have a job, a girlfriend, and a child. How do you guys have this time?
Yeah, we're living in a weird time right now, and like I was just saying about the Disney stuff, like I've already seen all this shit. What am I doing with my time if I'm just watching the same things I've already seen before? Going back into the womb, like just crawling back into your mother's vagina, turning into a little fetus and fucking staying there for the rest of my life. That's what I feel like sometimes. That's what I feel like sometimes.
The world's crazy, man. I do feel like, hey, let's hit that reset button. Mama, spread them open. I'm coming back
I'm
in.
coming back.
I'm coming back. Down, sit, hut.
Yeah, you thought it hurt the first time. You fucking wait till I take my 170-pound ass. Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know that it's... I mean, we still have a choice, but if people make the choice to just... I don't know, man, because, yeah, there's, if you think about it in terms of the most mainstream streaming services, we've got Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime.
We're going to have Apple. We're going to have HBO. I think NBC is doing their thing. It's
holy shit. We're getting up
not
there.
Not only do we have multiple streaming services, we got crazy amount of content on it. Like, it's insane, man.
And then gaming, PC games. It's like we are really living in a...
And we're YouTubers, man. That's all that's what I watch more than anything is YouTube videos.
You've heard about the opiate of the masses. I mean, you remember they used to call television the opiate of the masses. Maybe, and
that's
I don't.
Cute now.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know if it's a construct by Illuminati. I'm not saying it is, but it is very convenient. It is very convenient. You look at the Colosseum back in Rome. They've always used entertainment as a way to distract the masses from politics. And right now, we are in the most distracted times of our lives. You look at the people voting people like Donald Trump into office. It's fucking boomers that don't know how to use the internet other than to go onto Facebook and read bullshit news articles that aren't fucking real. And then they go out and vote because we're too busy watching fucking Game of Thrones for the 64th time, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's a gift and a curse because sometimes I do want that distraction. Like I had a bad day at work.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm just tired of politics. I'm tired of, racial injustice stuff. I would like to see what the boys got going on. But at the same time, you're right. When it's time to get serious, time for change, like, okay, this distraction, we could possibly put that pause button on and stop letting these 80-year-old white guys make decisions for everybody.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. It is definitely a blessing and a curse. And it could be scary at times, but at the same time, like we are fans of the art. We always have been. We always have been fans of acting. We have been fans of like role playing and stuff like that, and plays and movies. And we break them down all the time. Me and you especially. But we just got to remember, too much of anything is bad for you. That's including water and food. Things that are the best for you. Too much of that could kill you. So we just got to be careful sometimes. Dedicate amount, like medicine, dedicate that time for it, and then make sure you get some fresh air and do other things.
And on that note, if you guys want to contact me or Ian, you can hit us up on any of our various social media platforms, as well as YouTube. You can reach me on Discord, my cell phone number, hit me up on my email address. You can find me 24 hours a day sitting in front of this computer or the computer at my work office, because that is life now.
Fired. Hey, shout out to Caleb for doing my icon. If you go to the Controversity and subscribe, the guy that actually did the Boondocks looking picture of me, that was Caleb that drew that.
That is badass. I didn't even think to bring that up. I was so busy shitting on him that I totally forgot. He did a great job with that. That's super fucking cool.
He absolutely did. Yeah, I'm really thankful for that.
And as I mentioned at the top, you guys make sure that you're subscribed to the Controversity so that you can stay up to date with all of the content going on over there, as well as the collaborations that me and Ian are cooking up later on today.
2020 Division's coming.
That's right, 2020 Division. Keep an eye out for it. Make sure that you are participating when you do come and check out the videos. Make sure that you're liking, sharing, commenting, and letting us know your top 10. That's the most fun of the whole thing. And believe it or not, the reason why we do this stuff is because we love hearing from you. So on that note, and until next time, I'm Jeremy, and on behalf of me and Ian, be terrible.